Sunday afternoon, Dad visits Godfather. 7 years old, get to go. Eyes on the move, fat, thin books line carved wood bookcases. Magazines capture corners of glass table. Easels hold watercolor flowers, flamboyant, orange, yellow, red, trumpet hibiscus. Vie for attention. Unfazed by my lap hopping, living room mentors, well-dressed young men talk serious stuff. Questions rise, answers land. Amidst wrinkled brows, smiles, joke or two. Delicious aroma saturates air. Slip into garden, spy white table, rainbow-colored mats, chicken stew, rice and peas, fried plantains, Johnny cake, papaya and mango juice, pineapple, coconut, guava tarts. Motion to Godfather. Time to eat. All rise. Disappear one by one. Wash hands. Fill chairs in waiting. Food blessed. Leaders nourished. Renaissance blooms.
You don't need a ticket. This is a one-way trip to full-blown, ecstatic, everlasting, unconditional, sloppy, wet, dangerous, all-consuming, death-defying, stomach-turning, sweaty, spongy, chafing, stinging, bruising, bloody, blissful, breathtaking, all hours of the day and night kind of lovemaking. What are you waiting for? Get on it. Garden.
Dear COVID, I should hate you. The time you took, the lives you ruined. I couldn't name all the people you affected if I spent the rest of my life trying. However, after a year of racial inequality, riots, social unrest, and all-out drama, I'm not afraid of you. In fact, I sometimes think that maybe you were protecting me. I know that it sounds delusional, as your whole goal was to ruin lives, but I'm not a cynical person, and I can't help but to see that you did bring some good into this world. You stopped time for me. I felt like everything was going too fast for a minute there, so it was kind of too fast for me, and I was afraid that I'd lose it and fly off the roller coaster of life. But then you came and gave me time to get myself composed. You allowed me to not take the chances given to me for granted, and to remember the good old days before they are gone. You taught me just how much I should appreciate my loved ones and the time I spend with them, because it can be taken away in an instant. You taught me not to be afraid, to seize opportunities, and to never second guess myself again. I am far from the person I want to be, but despite all the horrors that you have brought into my world, I came out of it stronger and better. You're nearing the end of your life. I can feel it. Vaccines are rolling out, schools are reopening, and the world is slowly shifting back to the way it was. But don't worry, you don't have to watch me anymore. You don't have to protect any of us anymore, as the children you met are now adults who are ready to face the rest of their lives without a doubt in their minds, because you taught us to do so. I'm not going to pass up another opportunity, convincing myself that another will come. I will not burn another bridge, thinking that I can build it again. And I will not miss out on the highlights of my life because of fear or some other trivial reason. I learned to avoid these things because of what you did to me and what you did to everybody else. I'm still afraid, and I'm still wary of the possibility of failure, but I won't ever let that stop me again. I should hate you, but I don't. You showed me how unpredictable life is, and to be thankful for it when it goes your way, no matter how insignificant. So thank you, but I'll take it from here.
For years, I lived my life in afters. After I moved away from my hometown, my real life would begin. After I finally finished my hodgepodge college degree, I'd find the right job. After I made myself into a perfect person, no insecurities or hang-ups, I'd be worthy of love. After I proved I could do it, whatever it was, I'd be fulfilled. It's not hard to see how slippery this could get. The sensation that once you found the perfect home, secured the perfect job, locked down the perfect and unshakable sense of security, found the perfect circle of friends, real life will begin. Life will start once we become the extraordinary people we're destined to be, and then we can relax a bit and enjoy it. But what if we're missing it, I wondered. What if, by waiting until we have it all figured out to care for ourselves, or notice our needs, or what we actually want as opposed to what we're supposed to, we're late to the party? What if some of the most enlightening and important and meaningful parts of young adulthood are actually the ordinary ones? Mid-conversation with young adults describing this pressure to be special, to be the best, to make sure I'm making the most of life, to live up to what my parents, my mentors, my friends believe I can do, to do the right things, I realized it felt as though we were all asking different versions of the same question. How can I ensure I have worth in the world? How can I guarantee I have meaning? How we ask that and who is asking it deserves attention. Young people have complex identities, lives, and experiences. And when we talk about growing up, what's important to note is that it's not going to feel, let alone look, the same for everyone. If you're constantly trying to change or better yourself, it leaves little room to actually get to know yourself at all, to recognize that goodness and worthiness don't find you after you've fixed yourself first. At this time, I was supposed to have more things figured out than I do right now, Lexi, 21, said. She graduated with a job lined up that was canceled as a result of COVID-19. Her mom is an immigrant and her dad grew up poor, and she described education as something viewed, especially in immigrant communities, as your ticket to the world, a means of life being good from there on out that she's been working toward her whole life. I think a lot of the things I worry about are so interconnected, she said. In terms of social issues, you really can't extract any single one without touching anything else. Young adults get this on a profound level. Her fear of being unable to get a job and pay off student loans is inherently connected to the fact that the job market is dismal, and she pointed out that her generation has grown up with a particularly heavy backdrop. Her college years were bookended by the election of Donald Trump and the COVID-19 crisis. She was a young teenager when the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting happened and described the general sentiment as, "Something's going to boil over eventually." Then, she added, there's the social pressure. To move out of your parents' house and have a beautiful apartment and live in a glamorous city with your friends and go to expensive dinners every night. If that sounds like a fantasy, not reality, it's one reason to look twice at the stories we tell young adults about milestones, timelines, what adulthood feels like, and what they ought to be doing. And the stereotype of young people craving being special, I think that's also part of us clinging on to those last remaining strands of the American dream, Lexi said, that if we can just be special or different, that dream will be ours in some way, but we need to stand out from the crowd to make it happen.
Walking. One thing we do is walk through this smoggy, dirty city. We walk, dodging cars, hiding from daylight people. Me and you, my brother, we walk these late night hours. We walk till light shine rises over telephone wires. We walk till our doggies bark. We walk to those 24-hour places. We simple folk love to walk when the city sleeps.
You love books? Then watch out. Rare Bird is one of the coolest publishers around. Whether it's Permanent Midnight by Jerry Stahl, The Darkest Glare and Arroyo by Chip Jacobs, or even Girlvert by Ashley Blue, they truly have it all. Rare Bird, wherever good books are sold.